Do you ever think about blind people?
Not really. Why do you ask, Matt?
Well, I noticed a blind man on the street today. He could walk really fast with his cane.
I'm not surprised. Blind people learn special skills. They can do them well.
So being blind doesn't slow them down.
That's right. They can have normal lives.
Blind people aren't able to see, but they can still get around.
Some blind people have a guide dog. The dog helps them.
Yes, they are partners and work together.
They can do almost everything, but they might do it a little differently.
Well, we're all different. It's a good thing.
Yes, if everyone was the same, life would be boring.
You see many kinds of people. Do you ever notice blind people? Blind people may walk or move differently. That's because they are not able to see. Some blind people walk with a cane. Others have a guide dog. The blind person and the dog are partners. They work together to go places and do things. Blind people can have normal lives. Being blind doesn't slow them down much. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk in English. My name is Peter. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi friends, I'm Pauline, looking forward to learning with you today. Today we're talking about society.
That's right, everyone is special. Hey, Pauline, I was thinking, do you like spending time at places like the airport or a bus terminal or the mall?
I guess. What do you mean? There are many people in all those places. Different people are going to different places.
Yes, you see many different kinds of people there. I call it people watching. You can sit on a bench and watch people go by.
When I go to the airport, I like seeing people get on and off planes from international countries. They are wearing different clothes. They are speaking different languages. It's all very interesting.
Oh yes, I think the airport is one of my favorite places to watch people walk by. I mean, I know sometimes I'm amazed to see how different everyone is.
Yeah, each person has a different life story, where they are from and where they are going.
Well, today we get to talk about blind people. There are a few people out there that just cannot see. They live a life just like everyone else, but in their life they have their own story. They must have to learn some things you and I never have to do.
I had a surgery on my eyes last year. During that time, I had to think about my eyes all the time. I needed to change the way I lived for a short time.
I guess since we see with our eyes each day, we don't think about it too much. We take it for granted.
Well, today will be a great lesson for us all to remember to be grateful if we can see and to think about people who cannot. Well, let's get started by learning our keywords. Here's Jack to help.
Hello, Matt 跟 Tina 说，他今天在街上注意到一位视障的朋友。I noticed a blind man on the street today. 动词 notice 就是注意到。虽然视障的人行动的方式跟一般人不同，但是有了手杖或导盲犬的帮助，他们还是可以行动自如的。They may walk or move differently. 副词 differently 就是不同的。对啊 ，Matt 说他们虽然看不见 ，they're not able to see， 但是还是可以到处走的。形容词 able 是能或者可以的，而视障者和他的导盲犬之间就像是最好的伙伴。They are good partners。名词 partner 就是伙伴搭档。Tina 说他们也可以过正常的生活。They can have normal lives。形容词 normal 就是正常的。
Do you ever think about blind people?
Not really. Why do you ask, Matt?
Well, I noticed a blind man on the street today. He could walk really fast with his cane.
I'm not surprised. Blind people learn special skills. they can do them well.
So being blind doesn't slow them down.
That's right, they can have normal lives.
This first question is an interesting one. Do you ever think about blind people? First, let's talk about this kind of question that starts, do you ever?
Sure. When you want to ask someone if they do something or have done something and the time doesn't matter, use this question. Do you ever paint?
It has this feeling of, is this something that you have done over all time? Do you do this? Did you do this? Such as, do you ever exercise?
Do I ever exercise? This makes it sound like the person never exercises, or you think I never exercise. Of course, I have exercised. Anyways, coming back to our question today, this might be what Matt means.
Sure. Do you ever think of blind people? It's probably not something we think about normally. So this question is okay to ask using the word ever.
Tina replies, not really. Why do you ask, Matt? Since this is not a normal question, she wants to know more. Why is Matt thinking about this? Maybe something happened recently to make him think about it.
It's a good question to ask, and it's a good question to practice. Here is some help from Carolyn.
Hi, friends! It's that time of day when you get to visit Use It. Are you ready? In today's Use It, you are going to learn how to ask a question using the phrase, why do you? Let's look at a few examples. First example, why do you like this movie? Why do you need money? Ready? Then go on and use it.
Thanks, Carolyn. So something did happen that made Matt think about blind people. He noticed a blind man on the street today. He could walk really fast with his cane.
That's right. Blind people can walk on the street and get around town much like the rest of us do. Let's talk about these two words from what Matt says. Notice and the word cane.
Okay, I noticed Carolyn got a haircut. So I told her it looks nice. Joe noticed I was hungry and brought me a snack.
Very good. I'll talk about the word cane. A cane helps people walk. Old people might use a cane to help them walk because they might need some help. Blind people use a cane to help them feel in front of where they are walking.
Have you ever tried to walk with a cane and close your eyes while doing it? It doesn't sound easy. I can understand why Matt was surprised this blind person was walking so fast. I couldn't do that.
Tina is not surprised to hear that blind people can walk so quickly with a cane. Let's go to Jack for a short lesson.
Matt 说，他今天在街上看到一位视障的朋友，他有了手杖的帮助，可以走得很快。Tina 说 ，I'm not surprised， 我不惊讶，他们学习特殊的技能可以做得非常好。所以我们来看看 ，I'm not surprised。这里的 surprised 是感到惊讶的，我们可以用 I'm not surprised 来表达对某件事的发生一点都不意外，觉得是意料中的事。比如有人说 David 昨天比赛赢了，我回答 I'm not surprised. He practiced a lot. 我不觉得惊讶，因为他常常在练习。另外，昨天的比赛 Sally 表现得很失常，我说 I'm not surprised. She was so sick yesterday. 我不觉得惊讶，她昨天很不舒服，病得很严重。所以有机会的话，也请你用 I'm not surprised 来表达某件事是意料之中的事。
Thanks for the help, Jack. So Tina is not surprised. Blind people learn special skills. They can do them well.
Skills are things we learn to do, and yes, when you are a blind person, you learn some special skills to live your life. Maybe some of these skills are things we have never tried before.
So being blind doesn't slow them down. They learn these special skills like walking with a cane.
That's right. They can live normal lives. We think that they can't have a life like us, but actually they can. Friends, we'll talk more about this, but first let's take a short break. Don't go away.
Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
When I was a kid, I went to a place that taught us what it would be like if we were blind or deaf or had to live a life in a wheelchair.
Wow, that is a special experience. I bet it changes the way you think about doing everyday things.
Yes, it's good to think in new ways. Later, I went home and memorized how to walk around the house with my eyes closed. I could do everything I wanted to, blind.
Wow, that's great. Well, friends, let's keep talking about this after our next conversation.
Blind people aren't able to see, but they can still get around.
Some blind people have a guide dog. The dog helps them.
Yes, they are partners and work together.
They can do almost everything, but they might do it a little differently.
Well, we're all different. It's a good thing.
Yes, if everyone was the same, life would be boring. So we learn more from our friends in this conversation. The word we are using a lot today is blind, and that means you cannot see. If you cannot hear, we use the word deaf.
Matt says blind people aren't able to see. Able is the same word as can. Blind people cannot see, but we learn that they can still get around.
Which is really amazing. I mean, just imagine, we use our eyes for just about everything.
Some blind people have a guide dog. The dog helps them. You have probably heard of the word tour guide. A tour guide shows you around. They lead you. This dog guides the person while they walk.
They are very helpful. Not only do they help the blind person walk, but they are good friends too.
Yes, they are partners and they work together. A partner works with you. You help each other.
I have seen people train guide dogs before. I am always grateful to see them. They train the dog to help another person in the world.
These dogs are also very patient and pay attention to their partner. They tell the person when they can cross the street or where the door is.
So a blind person has a different life from us in some ways, but they can do almost everything. They just might do it a little differently.
Yes, we're all different. It's a good thing.
I agree, we're all different.
We're all different. This is today's calendar phrase.
We're all different.
We're all different.
我们大不相同。
We don't look the same.
We're all different.
We don't think the same.
We're all different.
We don't act the same.
We're all different, and we're all special.
Yeah, especially me.
Especially me.
Especially me.
Me. Especially me.
Me. No, me.
Me.
We're all different.
We're all different.
我们大不相同。
That was a different calendar phrase. And I like today's topic. I am glad that we can talk about how someone different than us lives. It helps us think about other people.
It is so easy to think that people different from me are not as good as me. Look, that is different. It must not be as good.
Yes, it is so easy to think of things as better or worse, good or bad, but actually it's just different.
When I go to a different country, I try to think about things this way. It's not better, it's not worse, it's different.
If everyone was the same, life would be boring. Let's think more about that with Jack. He will teach us about that sentence.
Tina 说，如果每个人都一样，生活就太乏味了。If everyone was the same, life would be boring. 请你看一下，它用的是过去式的 was the same， 这是一个重要的文法规则哦。当你讲到与现在的事实不符的事情，就要用过去式。比如，你跟我不在同一个学校读书，我可以说 If we went to the same school, we could do many things together. 如果我们读同一个学校，就可以在一起做很多事。因为事实上，我们现在不在同一个学校就读，与现在事实相反，所以要用过去式 went。或者我没有养狗，但是 if I had a dog, I would call her Nana. 如果我有狗的话，要叫它 Nana。与事实相反，有一只狗要用过去式 had a dog。
Hey Peter, talking today reminds me of that great e-report we did this year. Do you remember that one about the guide dog?
Oh, yes, with Hazel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. We learned about guide dogs. It takes a lot to train this dog to be ready to help a blind person.
Right, it takes many years, and families adopt a little baby puppy into their house, and every day they are training them, teaching them how to be kind to people, not to bark too much or run into the street, all these small things that eventually make it so it can be a good guide dog.
That's right. They live with this dog because eventually this dog will live with a blind person that will help them get around town, get them to work, different things like that. It will also keep them safe on the streets too.
So interesting. Well, we have to stop now and review. Friends, here's our keywords for today.
Here's the first keyword. Notice. Notice. They noticed a dog in the store.
Differently. Differently. Everyone does things differently.
Able. Able. Are you able to help me today?
Partner. Partner. Tony and his partner work well together.
Normal. Normal. It's normal to be nervous sometimes. Okay, friends, these are your keywords. You're doing a great job. Now let's take a look back at our lesson one more time together.
Do you ever think about blind people?
Not really. Why do you ask, Matt?
Well, I noticed a blind man on the street today. He could walk really fast with his cane.
I'm not surprised. Blind people learn special skills. They can do them well.
So being blind doesn't slow them down.
That's right. They can have normal lives.
Blind people aren't able to see, but they can still get around.
Some blind people have a guide dog. The dog helps them.
Yes, they are partners and work together.
They can do almost everything, but they might do it a little differently.
Well, we're all different. It's a good thing.
Yes, if everyone was the same, life would be boring.
Some people can't see.
That's right. Sometimes I notice blind people walking around town.
How do you know they're blind?
Blind people move differently. Some use a cane when they walk.
Oh, how does a cane help?
They move it in front of them to make sure the way is clear.
Oh, and some blind people have guide dogs, right?
Yes. The dog guides the person. They work as partners.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yes, having a guide dog helps a blind person get around.
Do blind people ever have guide monkeys?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe they should.
The angels came to proclaim that the world would never be the same. That the world would never be the same. Amazing love came from above. The day God sent His Son to earth, it was a holy birth. He brought good news for all to hear. The message takes away all fear. Amazing love, amazing love came from above. The day God sent His Son to earth, it was a holy birth. He brought good news for all to hear. The message takes away all fear. Amazing love, amazing love. How can it be? His heart can set us free. The shining star that led the way still brightens up our day. Amazing love, amazing love, amazing love.
Well, friends, thanks for taking the time to think about this with us. Peter, do you have any last things to say?
Well, sure, we see blind people walking around with us. It's okay to offer them help. But again, maybe do it in a way where you respect them. And they might just like to have a normal conversation just like us. You can make a friend on the street.
Well, friends, thanks for joining us today, and we hope you'll come back again tomorrow, right here on
Let's Talk in English.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.